This is one of our clients, and in this photo, there is something you might not expect. She's at the exact same body weight in both of these photos. So, in this video, I'll share everything she did to first lose 12 pounds, reduce her body fat, and replace it with muscle. So all you have to do is just copy what worked for her. Now, to answer your question of why should you listen to me, and if you don't already know who I am, my name is Devanand Prasad, founder of industry-leading fitness company named Dynamics, where we focus on helping women who've tried everything under the sun finally make sense of fat loss and build a body and lifestyle where they no longer have to diet. Don't just take my word for it. Here is our proof to back it up. Over the past couple of years, we have transformed hundreds of women just like you create a lasting transformation. From busy moms, corporate professionals who work in a stressful 9 to 5, to even nurses working 12-hour shifts, they've all transformed using our 5-phase body transformation process, and that is the exact process I'm going to explain in this video. So, without wasting any time, let's get into the details. Now, if you truly want to understand what we did and why we did it, you need to understand her past history and daily lifestyle. The story goes back 2 years when she started working out by herself in the gym with a short-term goal of losing weight, especially in the abdomen, and with a long-term goal of building an hourglass shape. She chose random routines on the internet, followed all the fitness influencers, stayed up late watching YouTube videos trying to figure things out, and yet she ended up in this analysis paralysis where you have all the information in this world, but when putting it all together, you don't even know where to start or what to do. Now, for the nutrition, she tried this one unique strategy, which is eliminating sugar in carbs. And if you ask me why, just because someone on the internet said so. As a conclusion, she was trying anything and everything, praying that it would help her get to the body of her dream. As you may know, it doesn't work like that, and it is not that she's not working hard. She is, but just in the wrong direction. Regardless of not seeing results for months, she still didn't give up. But here comes the twist. She decided to ask for help by signing up for personal training in one of the most popular commercial gym chains. I don't want to reveal names or talk negatively about the way I got here, but for those of you who don't know, I came to Canada as an international student, and after graduating in health and fitness, even I started as an entry-level personal trainer, but later had the privilege of directing the #1 ranked training team in the most reputable gym chain in North America. But even though it may seem all sunshine and rainbows, there are a few downsides to the system. All my trainers under me were spread thin because all they had was this 30 minutes to an hour for every single client inside the gym, and it's nearly impossible to give them a good workout and teach them all the fundamentals that they need to succeed in that one single hour. And if you ask most trainers, they're guilty of it because they know it is not about what you do in that 1 hour when you're inside the gym. It is about what you do in the rest 23 hours that's going to get you closer to your dream body. The worst place you can be is having access to your trainer only in that 1 hour. And if that is the case, no wonder you've spent tens of thousands of dollars in person but still haven't seen any results. As a training director, I made sure we had the systems in place to teach every single client on what they need to do outside the gym. And let me tell you, it wasn't easy. It took extra efforts from the leadership team, but not every club would go that length for their clients. It's not because they're bad or they don't want to help you get to where you want to be. It is just because they don't have the bandwidth or extra infrastructure, since they're only getting paid by the hour and they have clients lined up for every other working hours. And this is exactly what happened to her. She had the best workout in that hour with the trainer, but since she didn't know how to optimize her life outside the gym, the results were non-existent. Spinning the same wheels again and again, seeing little to no progress. The crazy fact is, it is not just her. If all you need was a gym membership and 3 to 4 workouts a week, why do you think 90% of people quit the gym within the first 3 months? And yet, if that was true, every single person who steps their foot inside the gym would be in shape, or even you would never be here watching this video. That being said, regardless of multiple failures and setbacks, she decided not to give up and asked for help for the one last time. She saw one of her videos online, reached out, we designed a 5-phase body transformation roadmap, then we got to work. Here, we were able to solve the exact problem she was facing. We taught her the fundamentals and optimized her life outside the gym. So not only she could achieve the body of her dreams, but maintain the results for the rest of her life without asking help from another human. This is how we did it step by step. First, when she came in, we had to focus on the foundation, which is a fancy way of saying setting up daily habits which will eventually get her to the body of her dreams. Since she was stuck in the loop of being told what to do without really understanding why she was doing certain things in the past, we had to educate her about the whole process so she knows what to expect in each phases and what behaviors need to be changed in order to make the transformation a reality. The first tactical thing which we did was to make her stop working out and start training. Let me explain. It's not about what you do, it's about how you do it. Going to the gym and doing a few reps on the random empty machine is not what we call training. Just doing some lazy 10 reps because your program said 10 is not what we call training. Being intentional with your workouts and executing each rep with precision and quality is what we call training. I mean, think about it. You're already putting in the work, and the single best thing you can do is to make sure you are getting the most out of it. In order to do just that, we asked her to send us form check videos so not only we could correct the movement patterns, but most importantly, she knows how to focus on every single movement stages, which is first, the lengthened position. This is where your muscle is in a stretched position, which in this case, when you hold the dumbbell all the way down. And if you want to maximize this, add a 1 to 2 second pause. The next one is concentric phase, which is when the weight is lifted against gravity. In this case, it's the path where you bring the dumbbell closer to your body. And then there is shortened position. This is the point where the target muscle gets squeezed to the fullest, and in this case, when the dumbbell is at the top closer to your body. And if you want to maximize that, add a 1 to 2 second pause right at the top. Here comes the final step, eccentric phase, which is the negative part of the movement, and in this case, when she brings the dumbbell all the way back down. From my experience and from all the transformations you see on the screen, you'll get far better results when you focus on each individual stages rather than just swinging the weights and calling that a workout. Along with optimizing movement patterns, we set her up with right foundational habits, which is in her case, going to the gym at least for 2 to 3 days a week for just 30 minutes, drinking 1 to 2 liters of water, taking at least 6,000 steps, and finally, keep track of what she was eating. And if you were wondering, what we did here was reverse engineered her big goal of losing weight into smaller chunks of daily habits. So here's a pro tip that you can implement today. Instead of us telling her to do this, we added all these habits into daily checklist and plugged it into her calendar. So she has zero thinking involved, and all she has to do is open the calendar, complete all the tasks, and win the day. Simple as that. Not only does it help you stay consistent, it also helps you to measure your daily progress. And the next step was to help her set micro commitments, and most importantly, teach her how to follow through on the commitments that she set for herself. And keep in mind, it's not a skill you gain overnight by just flipping a switch. It is a habit that you need to cultivate over time, because it all comes down to the fact that your results are the byproduct of the person who you become. And let me tell you this, humans make mistakes, and there are going to be times where you can't follow through on your promises. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. For her, there were even times where she didn't want to show up, and well, there were even times where she wanted to quit. But as coaches, all we ask is to be honest about it and ask for help. Because when you mess up, the worst thing you can do is to beat yourself up over the mistake. Instead, the best thing you can do is to get curious about it and ask questions to help cultivate more awareness for yourself. So take this as your permission to make mistakes and not to beat yourself up when you're trying to change a behavior that you've been practicing since the day you were born. Alongside with cultivating the habits, that's exactly when we focused on putting her into a deficit so she can finally start losing weight. The transition was super smooth because she already had everything optimized in the foundation phase, where she focused on what she did inside the gym, which is optimizing movement patterns, and what she did outside the gym, which is developing healthy habits. Since everything was on point, all we had to do was reduce her calories. And in her case, the deficit was around 1400 calories and 1500 calories. In case if you don't know what a deficit is, it is consuming less calories than your body expends. So your body is forced to use the calories that is already stored inside your body. There is no secret number that will promise you fat loss, and the calorie deficit is a range that you need to be in consistently over time in order to see fat loss. And no, calorie deficit is not a diet like intermittent fasting or keto. It is a literal requirement for fat loss. If you want to find your calories for the deficit, do goal weight times 12, or if you're under 5'2", current weight times 10. I have so many other videos on this channel explaining the flexible dieting method where I teach you exactly how to eat the same foods you're eating right now and still get into the best shape you've ever been without ever sacrificing your favorite foods and without ever saying no to social events. And let's say the videos on the channel is not enough for you. You can message me the word workshop on Instagram so I can send you a 3-day video series where I teach you everything you need to build a super custom routine tailored to your goals and lifestyle. This includes a plug and play template where you can put together a workout in under 2 minutes or less, our official Ultimate Dynamics cookbook with 30 plus high protein, low calorie recipes which you can cook in under 5 minutes or less, and a supplement list showing you which ones are actually helping you get to the body of your dreams and which ones are draining your wallet and hurting your bank account. All you have to do to access that, scan this QR code, go to the Instagram and send me the word workshop. Simple as that. And by the way, make sure you follow the page so the messages can actually go through. Coming back to the point, let me tell you something that might be surprising. When losing weight, she hasn't done a single minute of cardio. We just focused on overall activity levels because that is what was easier in her situation. And to be exact, she followed around 7,000 to 8,000 steps per day. This was the time we had to focus on our training protocols, and for that reason, we transitioned into 4-phase training blocks. To put it as simple as possible, from the week 1, gradually increase the intensity until week 3, and on the week 4, reduce the intensity for your recovery. After that, repeat the same cycle for the next 4 weeks. But in the second training block, during week 1, you should increase the intensity than what you did on the previous week 1. Now, in the deficit phase, focus on losing at least 0.5 to 1 pound per week. And if you're losing more than 1 pound per week, increase the calories by 100 to 200 calories, or if you're not losing at least 1 pound per week, then decrease the calories by the same 100 to 200 calories. No matter how perfect you are with your training and nutrition protocols, in certain weeks, you still won't lose weight. And that is okay, because there are a lot of other aspects that goes into the situation. Water retention, bowel movements, your food intake. But never freak out when you don't lose weight at least for a week or two, and do the worst thing ever, which is reducing the calories. Only reduce calories if you haven't lost weight for at least 3 to 4 weeks. And before you even thinking about reducing calories, ask yourself whether you are staying consistent, like staying super consistent with your current training protocols. And only if you're staying consistent with the details and still the scale isn't moving for 3 to 4 weeks, then go ahead and decrease the calories by just 50. This was the exact same protocol that we used to reduce her body fat and to get her from 132 pounds to 110 pounds. Really quick, if you're watching this and if you don't want to deal with all these complicated planning and adjustments by yourself and instead want us to customize everything for you and to a point where all you have to do is just follow the plan and look like the woman you see on the screen, go below this video and fill out a super short application and let's have a conversation on how we can help you the best. Since we successfully reduced her body fat, all our focus was to prime her body to do the work for her. In simple terms, this means priming her body to burn more calories so she can keep the hard-earned results for the rest of her life with minimal workouts and simple nutrition protocols, and most importantly, to finally start building that hourglass shape. All the benefits I mentioned now comes with building muscle, and before that, there is something called reverse dieting. Now, if you're totally new to the channel, you may ask, what is reverse dieting and why can't we just jump back and increase the calories to build muscle? Well, if that was your question, it proves to me that you're totally new to the channel, and if you don't listen to what I'm about to say, you have a higher chance of regaining the weight which you might be losing in the deficit phase. Picture this. You were in a deficit, meaning you were consuming fewer calories and teaching your body how to handle less food for at least 6 to 8 months. So all of a sudden, when you increase the calories by, let's say, 400 to 500 calories, there is not even a single chance that your body is handling those extra calories in the right way, and as a result, there is a higher chance that your body will deposit those extra calories as body fat. The exact way you taught your body how to handle less food, you need to teach your body how to handle more food by slowly increasing the calories and gradually getting into a calorie surplus where you can build muscle. Reverse dieting is simply a process where we make sure you are diligently increasing the calories without regaining the weight which you lost in the first place. When reverse dieting, you should never increase your calories more than 50 to 100 calories per week, and depending upon your body composition, there will be certain weeks that you need to keep the same calorie intake. The best way to monitor that is by taking progress pictures and tracking your weight every single week, and in both of those, the most important one, the progress pictures. When you take the photo of yourself, you can notice the slight minute changes that's happening in your body and can make data-driven decisions rather than just blindly increasing the calories by 50 to 100 every week and later putting yourself in the risk of regaining all the body fat. Repeat the same process until you reach a calorie surplus where you're giving your body extra calories in order to build muscle. And if you want to find your calorie surplus, multiply current weight times 16. For her, the calorie range where she was comfortably gaining 1 pound for every 2 weeks was around 2600 calories. But this is where the most important part comes in. Since we focused on the training execution part right from the start, from the very beginning in the foundation phase, by the time we reached the deficit, she mastered almost every single detail. So training wasn't something we need to worry about. And this is what happens when you don't master the training execution. In simple terms, what you do inside the gym. By the way, if you're still that person who believes it's 80% nutrition and 20% training, you better listen up. Picture this. You are in a calorie surplus where you're giving your body extra calories in order for you to build muscle. If you don't master the art of training till failure and training with intent, tell me one reason why your body should use those extra calories to build muscle and not to deposit them as body fat. In simple terms, if you don't give enough stimulus for your muscle, there is no reason for them to use those extra calories. And if your muscles don't use those extra calories, guess where they're going? They will predominantly be stored as body fat. That is exactly why we focused on optimizing her movement patterns right from the start. And if you don't master this, it's basically like shooting yourself on the foot. When you build muscle, it pushes out the subcutaneous layer, which is basically your skin, and that is where you get that quote-unquote toned and lean physique you've been dreaming from time. Most importantly, when you build muscle, it raises your basal metabolic rate, which means you will burn more calories by just existing. As a result, you won't have to work hard as you did on the foundation phase or even in the deficit phase to keep your hard-earned results for the rest of your life. And that is exactly how, when you build muscle, you're securing your fat loss results. Let me tell you one more thing. As you can see on the screen, she was consuming around 2600 calories, while average woman consumes 1800 calories tops. If she can consume 2650 calories and still look like this, that right there shows you the magic of building muscle. For most of you, if you don't build muscle, you are working harder than your body and not the other way around. In simple terms, when you don't have muscle, you won't burn more calories. So when you consume extra food, all those extra calories you're consuming won't be burned like you expect, and all those will be deposited as body fat. But when you have muscle, your body will demand more food because muscle is calorically expensive. And let's say you went on a vacation and shoved up some extra food. You will still be okay because at the end of the day, you know that you did the work and all the muscle you've built is burning the calories for you. Keep in mind, while going through the process, she had a strong foundational understanding about calories and macronutrients, and now she's in a spot where she can look at a plate of food and know exactly how much protein, carbs, and fat it has. That being said, we then transition her into intuitive eating, where she don't have to track calories anymore and can still progress by just estimating the calories. This was only possible because she put the time into mastering the skill of flexible dieting and priming her body to burn more calories for her. As a result, now she doesn't need a food scale for the rest of her life. The one more fact I want to emphasize here is that she returned to the same body weight as she got started, but in a totally different body. A lot of women these days are scared of building muscle because of the same reason, thinking they might gain some body fat. From my experience, and after helping hundreds of women build a body and lifestyle where they no longer have to diet, that is rarely the case if you're doing it in the right way. But if you don't, you're just putting yourself in the risk of regaining body fat, or you will need to continue working hard like you did to lose weight in order to keep it off. By going through the process, not only she did learn all the protocols to an extent where she no longer needs another fitness coach, but most importantly, she made behavior modifications and became someone who's capable of keeping the results for the rest of the life. So if she could do it while working a stressful 9 to 5 and by just going to the gym 3 days a week and without ever sacrificing her favorite foods, so can you.